I have something in my hands today that I'm hoping, that I'm praying that could be a really good tool and possibly something that you might really like. You might end up saying that everybody will have one of these in the toolbox by the end of this video. Or if it goes south, you could say, I don't want that in my toolbox. Now, one of the tools that I have in my hands today is something that I love cool tools. I love bringing them to the channel. I love gadgets and gadgets and gizmos and all that good stuff, especially if they work very well. This is something that I think is going to work really well, and we're going to test it out here. But this is from a company called Klein Tools. Now, I'm sure you heard of them. This is a fantastic company. I mean, if you're electrical, HVAC, whatever, you know Klein Tools. I use their voltage meters, and I've done videos on their knives and stuff, and they're just a really good tool brand. But they just came out with this. Now, this is a utility knife, and a lot of people think of utility knives, they're thinking like, oh, well, like a utility knife, like just like flips open and closes and all that good stuff, but this one has a really cool feature. So let me open this up. I'll show you what we got going on right here, and hopefully this thing will work, well, real nicely. So this is called the Klein Tools Flick Blade Utility Knife Scraper with Blade Storage. 2-in-1, 2-position lock, 3 utility blades included. Now, how to open this is pretty simple. We're just gonna come over to the back and we're gonna do, maybe it's not so simple. This is like a chicken and an egg type of deal. Come on, man. I need a knife to get into my knife. All right, so what do we got going on here today? Well, this is a utility knife, if you haven't noticed, and it's from a company called Klein Tools. Now, I love the Klein Tools. Problem is, I got a lot of people up my backside in the comment section saying that I don't bring enough of the Klein Tools to the channel. So I'm gonna start bringing more of the Klein Tools to the channel. So let me show you one of the cool features here, and then I'll show you the really cool feature and why a lot of people are gonna love this. But this is your standard, flip out utility knife. Now, what's nice about this is it works very well. A lot of utility knives try to do this and they're just clunky and not very good at it, but I'm just pushing this button in and I'm doing that. That is smooth. Now, here's the other thing. A lot of people get concerned about these types of utility knives because they're worried about pushing that button and then this thing coming out and slicing and dicing your leg up. But what's nice about this is, check it out. I'm gonna push this open, I'm gonna push the button just a little bit and then release the button. So you can see that you really have to hold that button in because it will stop. And that, my friends, is pretty real nice like. Now, the body itself, it is built heavy duty. When you think of Klein Tools, you think of like professional grade, like HVAC, electrical, and all that good stuff. This is an aluminum body. It's built very, very well. It's not that cheap plastic that you feel on a lot of different utility knives out there, but this is legit. This is a nice build, and I like the orange. It helps you, if you put this thing down, you don't lose it as easy as you would with some other different utility knives out there. But one of the coolest features is, well, it's actually very compact for what this thing can do. Now, you're looking at this and you're saying to yourself, well, this is actually a pretty big utility knife compared to your basic utility knife. But I'm telling you, there's something inside here. There's a couple things inside here that you're gonna think is pretty real nice like. So let me show you the first one real quick. I'll tell you what, let's just move it out to the other table out here. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at this. So we already talked about the button here that you press and this will come out like such and very easy to use. Now, on the inside, not only do you have the blade hiding in there, you also have extra blade storage. So let me open this up. You can see that right here where it comes with an extra blade. And to remove this blade, you simply have that little button like you do on so many other utility knives. Just push that in and it slides out like such. Now, on the inside of the blade, you do have storage capacity. So if I were to take this out, you can see when I push this in, there's a magnet on the inside that's gonna grab that blade and prevent it from slipping out. I do wish that you could fit 2 or even 3 blades in here. Unfortunately, you can only fit 1 on the inside of this for the extra blade capacity. But on the back of this utility knife, well, that's where things get really freaking cool. You can see you have this sort of hidden compartment here with a couple arrows pointing at it. It's telling you to bring this up, so we're gonna pop this up. And what's nice about this is that it's actually built really well, so you don't have to worry about this thing sliding open accidentally. But on the other side of this, you have a little scroll wheel. Well, you're wondering yourself, Clint, my best friend forever, what does this little scroll wheel do? Well, it's actually really simple, and this is where the magic comes out. In this utility knife, I'm gonna take it, and you can see there's an arrow saying to turn. Let me see if I can show you. You see that right here? Well, I'm gonna take this little scroll wheel, and I'm gonna scroll it, so watch what happens. So this is gonna pop up on the side, boom. Oh, what do we have? Yeah. So to make sure that doesn't go anywhere, I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna slide that back in. You can see it's gonna lock that into position. And obviously, if I was using this in real life, I would have this closed so the blade didn't cut me on the other end, but we don't have a blade in there anyway. But look at this now. This is now a scraper, and it's not gonna close on you when you have this in. You would have to pull this out and then rotate that back in. But look at that, boom. And now if I wanted to, well, scrape things, you can scrape things. Now, this is not the only type of utility knife that does something like this. However, after using the functionality on this, just messing around with this for a few hours, compared to the other ones out on the market, this is much, much more reliable compared to the other ones out on the market. You see, some of the other ones have mechanisms on the inside that if you push up, it sort of like goes from here and it switches up to the scraper, and it's like all in one. And that's cool and everything, but if you get a little bit of dirt in there, then it makes it hard to actually adjust that scraper. With this here, you don't have to worry about that. You have a flywheel here or a wheel, you just turn and then bring that back in. You have to worry about so many components. It's basically just the wheel. The other thing that I sort of like about this is not a quick release type of blade. So you can see right here, let me bring this in for you. You can see there's a slotted screwdriver or a flathead right here. You're gonna take the screw out. So let me just show you real quick. If I were to change this blade out, just take this. The blade comes out, and now you can put your new blade in. But I do wanna point one thing out here in about 2 seconds once I put this back in. Put that in, and then close this down, and now you have a new blade. But here's one thing that I really need to point out to you about this blade. It sets this apart from so many of the other ones out on the market, and it blew my mind when I first seen it. But here's something that Klein did that's really, really awesome. A lot of these different blade manufacturers and tool companies, they want you to stay in their ecosystem. So take, for example, the Tough Built knife that we did. Well, that's a scraper knife as well. However, you had to buy their proprietary blades, and a lot of people didn't like that. But do you need proprietary blades for this utility knife here? Well, the answer is nah. I mean, this comes with a stamped blade that says Klein Tools, and so does the one on the inside, but these are just basic regular Husky blades that I bought. And as you can see, this is gonna slide in there like such, and then I just tighten it down like such. And now we'll take this one and put it in there like such. And now it's red to go, or should I say, orange to go. And again, now I gotta be careful with this because I got both ends open, and you wouldn't wanna do this. You would come over here and bring that down like such and then use it like that. But now you got your scraper and you got your utility blade over on this side. And once you buy the tool, you can use whatever blades you want to use. You don't have to go with proprietary blades. And that, my friends, is also real nice like. And that's the type of thing that I love to see from tool manufacturers. Things that they just let you buy and you don't have to stay in their ecosystem, or they keep nickel and diming you because you have to use a proprietary blade or whatever. So I'm really happy with this utility knife, and the build quality on this is fantastic. And I want to touch base on the size again. Yeah, this is a scraper that's hidden on the inside of this, and a utility blade. So you would think, okay, well, this looks a little bit bigger than your standard utility blade, but this is much smaller than other type of blades that do the same thing. This is very compact for what you're getting in this utility blade. Sorry, utility knife. And again, if I don't want the scraper, I'm just gonna open this up on the side. I'm just gonna take that wheel and I'm gonna flippity-do inside like that and close it up. And then there you go. Just drop this down, use your utility knife like such. And if I wanted to store the extra blade, I have one right there. So technically, this thing comes with 3 blades on the inside of it. They also give you this nice size little notch over here. So if you're, cutting little wires or whatever like that, you don't wanna use the whole blade. This will give you a little bit more control. And again, the build quality is exceptional on this thing. This thing is really, really nicely built. So I'm really surprised with, it's a Klein tool. It's a well-made tool. So I wanna know what you think about this tool. And I think this is one of the reasons why this should be in basically everybody's toolbox. I think this tool is real nice, but let me know what you think in the comment section. If you wanna see another one of these knife videos from Klein, check out this video right here. I had a little bit of issue on that one, but we'll back more videos soon.